I've never covered news or current event on this channel, but I am very compelled today. So Timberland has announced that he is signing the first AI artist. Isn't that amazing? That is absolutely stupendous. We're going to go to Buddy's post right here so he can give us the update.
I've been telling people for years that the music industry is in a state of collapse, and nobody believed me until now. One of the greatest music producers of all time, Timberland, just recently and officially signed his first AI artist by the name of Tata. He signed some ones and zeros, a computer program, to his record label. This is insane, but it gets worse. As you know, many AI programs use learning algorithms in order to replicate and create different things like music, songs, and art, even graphic design. Many people believe that Timberland has been using his fans' songs in order to inform his new artists on how to make music like this. Now, this is not hard to believe. Massive platforms like YouTube and Spotify have already been called out for using creators to inform their AI programs on how to make music and videos and things like this. But the fact that this is happening within music so fast and so aggressively just shows us how badly the music industry is in a state of collapse. Soon enough, record labels will not find a reason to hire actual human beings. Why do that when an AI program or a hologram could do a concert without getting hurt or getting tired or getting paid? This is a slippery slope, and things are about to get way worse.
I'll save my thoughts for the end or just later, but a lot of people are upset. I mean, I've seen the anger, concern, and frustration even reach people who don't make music. So with this being so widespread, what does Timberland do? He drops this video.
AI is ruining music. Whatever. Go ahead and cry me a river, since Timbo Stamp is on that too.
Y'all crying about AI taking your spot, but your songs barely mix. Why would we train it on that?
Man, y'all scared of AI, but record every hook in Melodyne.
Auto-tune is AI, baby. Y'all just didn't complain till it started writing better hooks than you. Timbo ain't the villain. He just not babysitting y'all no more. You want opportunity, but ain't got output.
You worried about AI stealing your sound? Bro, you ain't got one.
Who am I kidding? I ain't had no bars to begin with.
And to me, I'll keep it 1,000 with you because I don't give a fuck. To me, that signals what I have thought silently in the background about a lot of industry motherfuckers when it comes to a lot of this shit. Completely out of touch. Completely unaware. So he then released this message that says, I know I'm trolling, but let's have a real conversation. I love my independent artists. This doesn't mean I'm not working with real artists anymore. And now I don't train AI off y'all music. That is a big concern that everybody has been talking about. This just means more creativity for creators. Going live tomorrow. Let's talk about it. Now, this is the thing. Before I get to the next video, which this next video that we're going to listen to, that's the one that actually compelled me to load all this shit up and make the video, because I wasn't going to do this. I'm like, I care enough to talk to my peers about it, to people that I actually know to make music, but I wasn't about to do this video until I seen the video I'm about to react to next. But the thing that I know is that AI has to be trained by source material that is fed. So the biggest thing about this is going to be him coming up off the source and letting people know what the source is. Let me give you some insight. OpenAI, they're going through legal troubles, lawsuits, or whatever you want to call it, for using material to train its AI, which was unauthorized, and they didn't get permission from the people they took it from. I see New York Times is on their ass, but I thought there were more people than that. I'm not about to go and research right now. But they use articles from the New York Times to train their AI. So they're under scrutiny. I was approached by a company to use certain materials of mine to train AI because of that shit right there, the OpenAI situation. So YouTube as well, this is the sinister part. Like those people, they were at least willing to pay. YouTube has something, if you're a creator on YouTube, to where they just ask you like, yo, bro, you want to give us your shit so we can train AI? They don't give you shit. They don't give you no incentive. They just ask you, yo, can we just use your shit to train AI? Why not? And the thing that's going on right now, if you're not aware, we're in an AI arms race against China and stuff like that. And it's one of the things that's it's really gonna have a stronghold on the economic future of whatever country gets the monopoly on it and things like that. So that's what's going on in the bigger scheme of AI. Now, when we go over to this music shit, none of the fans or artists are that gullible. We know that it has to be trained somehow. And a lot of people who are artists, they are really upset because he's been doing this like showcase your music, American Idol stuff with artists on TikTok. But before he was even doing that, you know, he was doing Beat Club, and he's also been doing like the, you know, the lives and stuff on Twitch or whatever the platform is, and having people submit beats and all types of stuff. And you know, he's working with Suno and all of that. You've seen the ads. So him holding all these contests on TikTok and showcasing people's music and acting like he's scouting for talent or things of that nature, it makes people feel like the AI shit is a rug pull. That's what they feel like. So we're going to read just a few comments. Why have you been encouraging artists to sing you their music for the past year? Just training to make more money for less? Super disappointed in your lack of integrity. Such a strain on your legacy or staying. If you really want to know about the integrity of Timberland, go and look up what he did to CLA Wu. I'll read two more. It says, after you review so many fire artists on live, this is your response? And then we have another one that says, this nigga took y'all $10, $20 every Friday and backdoored y'all. Come on, man. Come on, man. So listen, we about to watch this other video that he posted on the same post from another industry figure. I'm going to react to it and let you know my thoughts. So I'm going to pause and say certain things in between the takes.
Yo, in today's news of artists are never satisfied, artists are never happy. This is why executives, producers, stuff of that nature don't work with artists. First of all, the Timberland, who has super producer, who has, I see, helping as many artists as he can, decides he's going to play in the AI world, which, why the fuck wouldn't you? Like, let me tell you what an AI thing is. Let me tell you what an AI character is. Mickey Mouse is an AI character. Donald Duck is an AI character. Bugs Bunny is an AI character.
This right here is a bad analogy, and I'm going to break it down. When you look at a character like Bugs Bunny is animated by humans. Wow, who would have thought? Who would have thought that every time you've seen Bugs Bunny, he was drawn by a human? A human put pen to paper, ink to paper, and colored them, all that's it, and it was made by a human. So anytime you see him, he is created by not just a human, in a lot of cases, by a set of humans when you were looking at animation. Let me take it a step further. You don't just see Bugs Bunny by himself 99% of the time when you see him. And you don't just see him in just a commercial. You see him on things like Space Jam or the old Looney Tunes. Guess what? There is somebody overseeing the whole production of that gets paid to manage all the artists, just the whole production of it. So that's just a whole, Bugs Bunny is a whole operation as far as a set of people within itself. But this is the thing, man. You don't just see Bugs Bunny animated. You see a voice actor playing Bugs Bunny's voice every time you see him open his mouth on a screen. That is a human. Now, what is the difference between Bugs Bunny and an AI character? Well, when you look at an AI character, there's going to be one person involved. You know who that person is? The person who puts in the prompts. They are going to put in the prompts, and AI technology is going to do the artist job. They're going to draw the new character that's not Bugs Bunny. They're going to take all these trained voices of people who probably didn't get paid and craft a new voice. Craft a voice out of thin air. And it's not just one time. You could do this a million times. You could do this an unlimited amount of times. So when you look at the comparison to that, wait a minute. Nobody's getting paid as far as a human to do the voice acting. So the voice actor is out of a job. Wait a minute. It used to take a team to animate Bugs Bunny. Now you're going to have a machine do the entire animation. Wow. Now the whole animation team is gone. Even the guy who ran the production and all of that stuff as far as the animation team, and he had all this expertise, he's gone because you don't need him. All you need to do is know, you just got to know how to write some good prompts. And trust me, I could go deeper than that, but that is the fundamental difference. Humans, multiple humans, were a part of the maintenance and creation of Bugs Bunny every time that you've seen him. When we look at this, as far as AI, it's trained by humans. It was initially programmed by humans. There's still going to be humans on the other end as far as profiting from the money and stuff like that. But those humans are in the tech industry. They have nothing to do with the animation industry. And that in turn ruins the animation industry as far as a lot of the people who have built up careers in the animation industry and et cetera, et cetera. So do you get it? Can you get the difference?
You guys are looking at it wrong. He's going to make a character that he can have sing songs and things of that nature and sell products. That's all these cartoonists and all these young kids TV shows are doing anyway. So why y'all mad at him?
Sir, they're mad at him because it's a wasted opportunity. That is going to take up space. There is a finite amount of space. When we talk about mainstream music, the top 100 only got 100 slots, bro. The top 100 only got 100 slots. And even when you get outside of that and people who aren't making the top 100, there's a finite amount of space for artists, as far as artists who get money and artists who are able to tour, artists who are able to make a living. There's a finite amount of space. It's not an infinite amount of space where everybody could do it and everybody can make it and we all can get $1 million a year. That's not how the industry works. So when you look at something like this, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope because if it gets normalized, other people can get one. A lot of other people can get one. As far as not just record labels, AI, you see how AI is. It's open to everybody right now. It could get to the point, which is kind of at that point now, if you want to be honest, it could get to the point where I have an AI artist. So not only is he wasting an opportunity, but it's about the trickle down effect that this will have if this is accepted and it becomes normalized. But further than that, why have these people paying this, like that fake ass shit? Oh man, he's been helping y'all. Taking money to have people showcase their music isn't helping anybody. I'm sorry. Even the feedback ain't really helping anybody to the extent that giving them a deal would help them. All of this stuff right here that was said in that AI video.
Y'all crying about AI taking your spot, but your songs barely mix. Why would we train it on that?
Timbo ain't the villain. He just not babysitting y'all no more. You want opportunity, but ain't got output.
You worried about AI stealing your sound? Bro, you ain't got one.
All of that right there is just arrogant, out of touch bullshit. That's what it is. He just shitted on all the people who gave him all that money, all the people who is complaining, all the people who have been trying to, get on, possibly get an opportunity through him, et cetera, et cetera. Now, he don't owe nobody an opportunity. Let's be clear on that. But you think somebody would be more respectful towards the people who have been supporting this platform the whole time. And one more thing before we get back into it. These things that are said right here.
Man, y'all scared of AI, but record every hook in Melodyne.
Auto-tune is AI, baby. Y'all just didn't complain till it started writing better hooks than you.
Neither one of those things are remotely close to what AI is. I'm not even going to say what AI actually is, just what AI is. They're not remotely close. The reason that I covered a lot of stuff that you see me cover, anything to where you press a button and it just creates a whole melody out of thin air, I was thinking that was AI. I was like, I want to get my hands on that. I want to see that. I'm interested and intrigued in that. You know why I like that shit? Because it's a tool. It's a tool. It's something that can create something that I can manipulate. I didn't want the shit to create music for me just out of thin air and just run with the music that it made. I wanted to have an idea like that. And I just wanted to see how good the ideas that it pumps out were firsthand. Those things like Melody Sauce, Mini Wizard, the built-in chord generator in FL Studio, and also the Spawn plugin and things like that. All of those, if I'm correct, correct me if I'm wrong, all of those present themselves as AI. And I thought that was AI, and to an extent, it might be what AI is. But when we talk about modern AI and the technology they are pushing, services like SoundRaw, Suno, et cetera, all these sites to where you write a prompt and it actually creates a whole song with a whole instrumental. Now that is AI. That's the AI that we're talking about that's going to take over the world and all of that shit. That's the real AI right there. So when you look at the things that I mentioned, those plugins where you click a button and it creates a whole set of music versus this right here to where, and I'm talking about music notes or whatever the fuck with the first example. But this right here to where you click it and it creates a whole composition with a vocalist and the drums and all that, like two completely different levels. When you look at Melodyne and Auto-Tune, they're nowhere near those levels. That's not real AI. I don't even think they pitched it as AI. Melodyne, really, you got to do a lot of manual shit in fucking Melodyne, so it's really not AI. And I get it. He's joking. But still, it's like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Plus, do you know how hard it is to push an artist? They gonna tell you, I don't wanna do that. Jimmy Iovine famously told me one day, get you something that don't talk back. What is better than an AI artist that don't talk back? And we're still mad at him.
This is the prime example, when it comes to AI specifically, of rich dudes and employers being absolutely, completely out of touch, but not just out of touch, greedy.
That's fucking crazy, gang. We all about to lose our fucking jobs. They even gonna hire AI content creators. They gonna get rid of me.
For those who are listening and not watching, there's a sign, and they got a lot of these signs up in San Francisco. I don't know if they're all around a bunch of major cities, but it says, stop hiring humans. The era of AI employees is here. So there's a company basically encouraging people to not hire humans anymore. We as humans see that as a threat. If you go all over TikTok, there are a lot of people with degrees who can't get jobs. There are a lot of people who just can't get jobs in general, done applied to 100 jobs, et cetera, et cetera. So outside the music world, that's something that's actually going on. And then when we look at jobs, there's all these articles and stuff that you can go and find forecasting when AI is going to pretty much have people out of a job. And you got all these people in the tech industry saying contrary things and et cetera, et cetera. But we all know the truth. And when you are a multi-millionaire CEO, let's be honest, a lot of y'all have worked for a corporation of some type before. The people who are like, bro, when you get to a certain point in the ladder, they absolutely, I mean, even in the building that you work in, like the director and the manager, they don't give no fucks about the employees that are in there. When you get past that and you get to people who aren't even in the building, they give absolutely no fuck, like 0% of a fuck about the actual employees at the job. So when you look at something like, oh man, you mean we could save so much more money and get so much more richer by replacing a lot of these employees with AI and just laying them off? Fuck it, let's do it. Let's let go 20% of the workforce, et cetera, and do that. And you know what that's going to lead to, mass unemployment and things of that nature. New jobs may be created, but whatever. So when we get past that and we look at this, if you're aware of what's going on in the world and you are in touch with what's going on with people that actually go to 9 to 5s and, you know, have to pay bills and might struggle a little bit, when you're in touch with that and what's going on with the masses, you could easily see the fucking problem when it comes to saying get somebody that doesn't cry or doesn't feel or anything like that. Get something that doesn't complain or anything like that. Now, don't get it twisted. I understand as a producer the fucking headache that it is to work with artists. I'm not about to get here and say that everything is all good working with artists. I understand the headache when it comes to labels working with artists and shit like that. But don't feed us the poison and try and act like it's motherfucking apple juice. Don't do that. You either be quiet or you stand on your square and say, yeah, we doing this, nigga, and what? Don't bullshit me and tell me that it's Bugs Bunny.
Somebody just called me like, what you think about what Timberland did? And it vulturist? I'm like,
I think I done said everything that I needed to say, man. Let me know your thoughts. You know, this shit is going to continue to develop. Yeah, I'm going to use AI tools and stuff like that. But when it comes to a major producer replacing artists and that becoming a thing to where record labels begin to sign AI artists, they actually tried this a minute ago and it failed horribly. I'm not about to look that up, but the fact that record labels have tried this before and it failed horribly, and Timberland, like, you know, in less than 3 years is making a second attempt, as somebody that is a super producer, because they didn't have anybody, you know, as far as a face backing that other shit, you know, this is an agenda that is, you know, being pushed. It just is what it is. So let me know your thoughts. I'm out.